Good morning everyone. I can just find 15 students still, ask them to record at the ask them to log in at the earliest. So in the previous class, we were dealing related to our fourth module, the measurement systems, right? So we dealt about measurement systems and regarding the static and dynamic characteristics part of it. So how we have to deal with in measuring these static and dynamic characteristics. So we were left out with the part related to the transducers, which is the second section in your module 4. So today we'll be focusing on what you mean by transducers, which types of transducers you have, how many stages are there in detecting the input signal to that of the output signal. So all those steps we will be dealing related to our module 4. Okay, so hope you all remember the part what we dealt, because there was a long distance between the module 4 when we started up and now we are again turning up. So it was basically measurement systems and basic concepts of measurement methods. So we dealt about the measurement systems and the basic concepts of it, which involve the definition, the significance, what do you mean by generalized measurement systems, and we dealt what do you mean by static characteristics. We went through all the types of static characteristics, right from accuracy to hysteresis, repeatability, linearity, where it doesn't change with respect to time at all. So those are nothing but our static characteristics. Further, we focused on our dynamic characteristics, which vary with respect to the time. And we also explained related to how the error comes in measurement, which are the classifications of error associated. So this covered our one part of module 4. So today we have to deal with what you mean by transducers, the classification of it, and which types of transducers are available, its applications, all those stuffs. Okay, so let us start up with transducers. So what do you mean by transducer in general? So it is a part of the concept related to our electrical and electronic concepts. Okay, so you have some part of devices related to electrical things in your module 4 and 5, like load cells, transducers. So you have to study what do you mean by it, what are the types of transducers which are available. So as a layman, you can define transducer as a device which converts the energy from one form into the other. So it depends upon the which input signal you are providing. So basically based on that, you will use the intermediate process and the stages to get the required output signal. So you can define it as a form or a device which converts energy from one form into the other. Okay, so you can also call it as a device that converts vibrations in a physical quantity such as pressure or by brightness, electrical signals, vice versa. So if it is changing the variation with respect to physical quantities, so this becomes the pressure type of transducers. Okay, electrical transducers, there are different type of transducers, so it depends upon which input signal you are providing. So based on that, you will be having the classification of the transducers. So usually transducers are employed even in the field of automation, in controlling systems where electrical signals are converted from one form of the physical quantity to that of the other. And transfer efficiency, how good it is transferring the input signal to that of the output signal, will provide you the efficiency of conversion of the energy from one form into the other. Okay, so input is nothing but the input signal delivered by the unit, and it is the information system delivered. I suffix in is the informative received by the unit as an input signal. So I suffix out will be the information which will be delivered by the unit in the form of an output. So it could be an voltage, it could be an electrical signal or any other quantity based on the input signal which is given to it. So the ratio of input upon the ratio of output upon the input will provide you the percentage of transfer efficiency of the given input signal into useful output signal. So it will provide you in terms of percentage. So this is nothing but the transfer efficiency, which converts the energy from one form into the other. So basic, before going into the classification and the concept of transducers, so this is a basic lay diagram how an transducer work. So I told you it will be having an input signal, and finally it provides an output signal. So in between there will be three stages of transducers: stage 1, stage 2 and stage 3. So stage 1 transducer just detect the input signal, and the stage 2 transducer, hello, the stage 2 transducer is an intermediate transducer which modify the input signal which is detected into the required output signal. Okay, so it is a modifier unit. So we call this as a transducer of stage 2 type. And then comes the stage 3. So stage 3 will deliver the required output signal. So it receives the modified signal and it transmits into the required form of the output signal. So it could display directly, or it can record it, which is been required as an output signal, or it can transmit the received output signal to some other device if it is connected. So this is the actual working principle of how an transducer works, irrespective of the type of transducers we are speaking. So this is the exact concept related to how an transducer works. So here it is one more diagram which helps you in neat understand. So the physical quantity, any physical quantity which is available will be sensed, because you will be using an sensor in the place of detector. You should be having some sensing device in order to sense the input signal, right? So in the place of the detector, you will be using a sensor. It could be of any type of pressure sensor or any type of sensor, which is gas sensor. So it depends upon the type of input you are providing. Based on that, the sensor will be used. So this sensor will sense the input unit which has been delivered. Okay, so after that it is a non-electrical quantity what you receive. Okay, so it could be some physical things which will be sensed, and this will be converted into the electrical quantity after it passes through the modifying unit, because here you will be having a signal conditioning unit, so which converts the non-electrical quantity sensed by the sensor into an electrical quantity, and as it is called as an modifier, yeah, intermediate stage in a transducer. So this electrical quantity which has been converted will be then transferred to the data representation. So data representation, it could be represented in the form of display, or the data can be recorded, or the data of the electrical signal can be transmitted to any other device if it is connected to it. So this is an example how the transducer works with respect to the lay diagram, the basic device construction. So this is about a transducer, how it works exactly. So after knowing what you mean by transducer and its concept, it is essential for you to understand the types of transducers. This is the basic classification between the transducer. It could be an active transducer or it could be an passive transducer. So what happens in active transducer? This develop and self-generating type of transducer. Okay, so it develops its own energy which is being needed. It won't outsource any power from the outside. So these are called as active transducer. Example for it is an piezoelectric transducer. So what do you mean by piezoelectric? So piezoelectric, it is a material, if you apply any mechanical stress into it, so that mechanical stress will be converted into an electrical output due to the variation in the dipole moment of the piezoelectric material. So it is converting by its own and generating the voltage. So the elements which are able to self-generate the required voltage or the current is called to be as our active transducers, and these are called as examples are piezoelectric as well as electronic transducer. So piezoelectric is a smart material which is able to convert or to show more than one property. So if you provide an input as in force, a stress, a load, it will be able to convert that into the electrical signal, because they will be having n number of dipoles and orientation in the dipoles which results in the formation of generation of required output. So we will explain what do you mean by piezoelectric transducer further. So this is just the classification between active and passive. So what happens in case of passive transducers? So here they use an external power source. So it derives the power for the energy conversion from an external power source. It will not generate its own voltage or current, and hence it is called to be as passive transducer. So example for these are the strain gauge transducers. Okay. So if they ask you the classification with an example, you should be able to explain both active and passive transducers. So this is one type of classification. So then comes, what do you mean by primary and secondary transducer? So what is primary transducer here? Here the sensing element may serve to transduce the sensed input and convert into more convenient form. Primary transducers are the one which sense the input signal and convert it into the form which is more convenient. Example is an dial indicator. Everyone know how a dial indicator operates. At the tip of the dial indicator you will be having the spindle. So this acts as a detector and it shows the deviation what you have in the dial indicator, because sensing we will won't able to understand what is the deviation. So but if it converts into an readable form, it will be more convenient for human to explain or to get the data which is deviated from the standard value, right? So it will help not converting the energy from one form to the other, but it helps in expressing the received data in showing in a convenient way so that it is easily readable, yeah, measurable. So these type of transducers are called to be as primary transducer. Another example for this is the load cell. So what exactly the load cell do? It detects the force or the load applied on it, right? And it gives an output in the form of a deflection. It is not converting the energy from one form into the another, but it is showing the deflection with respect to the force or the load what it is been sustaining, right? So that it will be easy for the human being or the person who is visualizing to get the data about the force or the load applied on the load cell. So these type of transducers which sense the input signal and explain in a convenient form for the users are called to be as primary transducer. So next comes the secondary transducer. So what happens here? It detects the force and gives an output in the form of deflection. So the example for these are strain gauge load cells. What happens here? So this deflection may be further converted into an electrical output by strain gauges. Here it was not providing an output. It was just converting into an convenient form. But in case of secondary transducer, it provides you an output as per the requirement. So this is the difference between primary and secondary transducer. You should be also aware about the active and passive transducers. So before going into the classification, next you should be knowing the different stages of transducers. Transducer 1, transducer stage 1, 2 and 3. Because I explained you in the diagram, it has 3 stages, right from sensing to giving and required output data, because it has to sense, it has to modify, and it has to display the output or record or transmit. So you need transducer stage 1, stage 2 and stage 3. So you have to understand what happens in transducer stage 1. So this is called to be as detector transducer stage. So what it does, I have told you already, it will sense the input signal which is being embedded to the transducer. It could be any physical quantity what it will sense. Okay, so at the same time it should be insensitive to every other possible input signals. It should only sense the input signal which is provided to the transducer and not from external environment. So the sensor what you are using to detect should be very keen in sensing only the physical signal which is being provided as an input signal. So example for this is an pressure signal. So it should be insensitive to the acceleration in any measurement of strain. It should only sense the pressure. Okay, so these type of uh, sensors are the strain gauge. So it should be insensitive to the temperature. So if any variation in the temperature come across, if any acceleration variation is going on across the device which has been kept, it should not sense all these input parameters. It should only sense the pressure signal as an input signal. Okay, so this is an example which has to be everyone very sure. So other things are, it could be also used in automobile tire gauges. So in order to check the air pressure in it. Okay, so these are the examples where the transducer stage 1 plays an vital role. So another one is the piston cylinder arrangement. So what happens here? A piston is spring resistance you will be having with respect to the piston movement, and you will be having a stem associated with it. So as the air pressure bears against the piston, the resulting force compresses the spring until the spring force and the air force are balanced. So this is how an piston cylinder combination works. So that could be used as a detector transducer. Okay, so detector transducer is again for our stage 1. So other than detector transducer of piston cylinder arrangement, we have other type of pressure sensing devices. So these are C-type pressure sensing device. This is spiral type, this is helical type, and this is twisted type of sensing devices. So if they ask you to explain the stages of the transducer with an example, you should be able to explain with an example. Okay, you can take a piston cylinder combination or any other type of, and you can also name other type of pressure sensing devices. I'm sorry. So all these comes under transducer stage 1. Next is transducer stage 2. What happens here? So it is an intermediate stage which receives the input signal, it modifies it into an electrical or electronic output signal which could be recorded. So this is an in between, either it is in the beginning or at the end. It plays a vital role in modifying one input signal to the readable output signal, and hence it is also called as intermediate stage. So this stage provides an indication or a recording of a signal in a form which can be understood by a human being or a control system, because the physical quantity as an input signal it's sense. The same physical quantity cannot be understood by the human being. It has to be converted into an output system so that it is understood by the human being or a control system which sends the output directly. So it converts the given input into the output. So this is done by data presentation element. Okay, so here the information, sorry, we are going to stage 3. That's what I was seeing why output is coming. Okay, so stage 2 is the intermediate stage. So as name itself indicates, it lies between the stage 1 and stage 3. I told you already. So main function of this stage is to modify the detected transduced information so that it could be converted into the last stage. So what happens here? The main thing is it increases the amplitude or the power of the signal so that it will be helpful to be sensed to the final stage as per the requirement, and it also helps in filtering, integration and differentiating if anything is needed in order to modify, fine tune and get an optimized output signal. So all the modification, filtration, integration, yeah, differentiation of any parameters, yeah, any elements from the sensed physical quantity will be done here so that you can get the required output as per the requirement. So it is an entire modification stage or a process in between the input and the output. So generally when it has been modified, it will be electrical, yeah, electronic circuits. Examples here are amplifiers, yeah, mechanical levers. So this is an intermediate stage which modify the input signal into an output, and this is a last stage which is a terminating stage. So it can store, it can transmit, yeah, it can record. So all the three activities will be performed in the transducer stage 3. So for this you need a data presentation element which can display, which can record or which can transmit the information. So here the information output may be obtained in different forms, such as a pointer moving over graduated scale. So this helps to show the reading directly, or else it could be in digital form as in a computer, or it could be a trace graphed out in an oscilloscope. So based on the end requirement, the data can be presented in 3 ways. Okay. So for an example for transducer stage 3 is an Bourdon tube pressure gauge. So we study this in depth. What do you mean by Bourdon tube pressure gauge? So which displays the record, transmits or stores the data. So this is how a Bourdon tube looks like. So it was invented in the year 1849. Okay, by a French person. So it is named against his name, Eugene Bourdon. So it is still one of the most widely used instrument for measuring the pressure of either liquid or gases. Okay, for all type of sensed physical quantities such as steam, water, air, up to the pressure of 100,000 pounds per square inch. So this is how the Bourdon tube works. How it looks like. And regarding its working, we will go in the rest of the time. Okay. So this was the classification. So first you learned what do you mean by active and passive. Then you learned what do you mean by primary and secondary transducer. These are main classifications, broader classifications. Okay, so then in order to understand the types of transducers, you have to know how the transducer works. For that we explained what you mean by transducer stage 1, stage 2 as well as stage 3. So now these are in-depth classifications of the transducers. So there are different type of transducers. One is a mechanical transducer. Okay, all these are mechanical transducers. So then it comes for electrical transducers, right? And you have capacitance transducers. So you have to go one by one. What happens in case of mechanical transducers? So in mechanical transducers, the input signals which are being used are like the physical quantities. What you will be using as input signal are force, pressure, displacement, temperature, etc. So these transducers mainly convert the applied force into displacement, and these are mainly elastic members. The members what you are using in order to convert the applied force into displacements are basically elastic materials. Okay, so they may be subjected to either direct tension, yeah, compression, yeah, bending or torsion, so that the input signal of the physical quantity will be converted into the required displacement. So these are the type in which they could be subjected. So this is about how a mechanical transducer uses the physical quantities to get the output in the form of displacement. So in that, the first type of mechanical transducer what you have to understand is spiral springs. So what happens in case of spiral springs? So these type of transducers are used to produce controlling torque in analog type electrical instruments. So what do you understand by this? So the output is to producing a controlled torque in analog type. It is not digital type. In analog type of electrical instruments and clock, we use this type of spiral spring transducers so that it helps in producing the required torque, so the movements in the clock could be displayed as per the rotation needed. It is not in digital, it is only in analog type of clocks we use spiral spring type of transducers. So the controlling torque will be proportional always to the angle of deflection, because you always need a constrained amount of torque to get the required deflection of the pointer in the analog type of clocks. So in addition, care must be taken not to stress the springs behind the elastic limit. I told you already, in case of mechanical transducers, we'll be using the elastic members. So you should not provide more stress to the spring which crosses the elastic limit. If it crosses the elastic limit, then you cannot transmit the required control torque to get the proportional angle of deflection. So this is the concept behind our spiral spring. So let me take a screenshot of the attendance. Everyone have written your names in the chat room. I'll just take the screenshot. If anyone have not written, kindly type. Yeah. So this is about the spiral springs, a type of mechanical transducer. So next one is torsion bars. So what happens in case of torsion bars? So these are used in torque meters in order to sense the torque, so that it causes a proportionate angular twist. So wherever you need an angular twist, so it will be using or sensing the required torque to convert into the angular twist. So this in turn is used as a measure of applied torque. Okay, so that will be shown with the help of the displacement it is being generated. So this is how an torsion bar works. And some torque meters, the strain gauges are used to sense the angular deformation. So whenever you need to measure an angular deformation, you will go for torsion bars because it helps in generating the angular twist with respect to the torque which is being sensed. So if you need a direct displacement, then no need of linear displacement, then you won't go with the torsion bars. Whenever the application is in need for a displacement of the transducer in angular way, it is preferable to go with the torsion bars because it can sense the torque in meters and convert that into the angular twist where you need in the angular displacement. So this is about the torsion bars. So we studied about the spiral spring and the torsion bar. The other type of mechanical transducer is pressure sensitive elements. So in that we have three categories. So what's happening here? Most pressure measuring devices use elastic members to sense the pressure. Okay, so these are pressure based mechanical transducers, and in here also it has to be elastic members only to sense the pressure. So here pressure will be used as an input signal. So what does this do? So these elastic members convert the pressure into the displacement. So all the mechanical transducers convert the received physical quantity into the displacement. So it could be in spiral spring where you require angle of deflection. So in torsion bars you may need angular displacement here, and in case of pressure sensitive element it could be converted into the displacement as per the input pressure signal you are receiving. So in that you have three types. One is the Bourdon tube. So this I told you and I mentioned you related to the time when I explained the transducer stage 3, right? I provided Bourdon tube is an example and how does it look like when it was invented, I told you. So we'll study this in depth. The second type here is the diaphragms, and the third type here is the bellows. So this is an Bourdon tube pressure gauge. Okay, so how does it work? So Bourdon tube are elliptical cross-section tubes which are bent into shapes as shown in the figure. So this is how the Bourdon tube looks like, which has been bended as per the required cross section of the elliptical bend which has been needed. So one end of the tube is sealed and physically held while the other end is open for the fluid to enter. Okay, so one end of the Bourdon tube will be sealed here, so where you receive the pressure as an input signal. So the other end of the Bourdon tube will be open so that it helps to sense, or it helps to open for the fluid to come into it. So the fluid whose pressure is to be measured enters the tube and tends to straighten the tube. So when the fluid is entered and the required pressure is generated, so it helps in straightening the Bourdon tube. So now it is bended into an elliptical form. So when the fluid is entered and the pressure is been sensed, so this helps in converting into an straight tube rather than elliptical shape. So this causes the movement of the free end which can be measured. So due to the free end movement of the Bourdon tube, so that will be measured here. So we have an gear which is an intermediate modifying stage. So this is an stage 2 transducer, so which will convert the movement of it into the required reading in the third stage. So in the third stage, it is the terminating stage. What you will be having, you will be having a pointer and scale which shows how much is the reading which has been moved. Okay, so you'll be having a Bourdon tube here. It will be the input signal where you sense the pressure. So this is acting as a detector or the detector transducer stage, or it is called as transducer stage 1, and this displacement of the Bourdon tube due to the sensed pressure will be converted into readable form